Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank each of you for being here, and Dr. Rutherford, thank you for joining us on Zoom as well. Now, I think everyone in this room acknowledges the fact that vaccine mandates are wrong. But when you go beyond that and you provide no exemptions for vaccine mandates, that's insane. And it appears to me that this administration is currently mixing bad policy with medicine, which the end result is a toxic outcome to our healthcare system as well as our economic well-being and who knows what other manifestations as well. So thank you for each of your expertise with this. I look at this, I hear my colleagues talking so many issues. We've got enormous hypocrisy coming from this administration, where months ago talking about that we're not going to allow any kind of vaccine mandate, and now all of a sudden we do. We have scientific problems with this whole thing that many of you have brought out, and just add to that the number of people who have already had vaccines. We are pushing a point that the vaccines are not even needed because so many people in the country have already had them. Then you have the constitutional issues, which my colleague from North Carolina just brought up, where these are issues that ought to be left to the states. Then you have, which our office has been inundated with, the no respect for medical and religious exemptions. And I mean, this is absolute insanity that we are even here having a hearing such as this, given all the violations and hypocrisy and trampling of our Constitution and individual rights. And where does this take us as a nation? It is stripping us of our individual liberties. Now, I've got a couple of questions. Let me begin, Ms. Parker, with you. There's so many organizations that are out there filing lawsuit against the Biden administration with this over the employer mandate. Where do you see this long-term going? Where is the long-term impact of the vaccine mandate, do you think?
Well, long term, obviously, we hope it gets blocked for small businesses. The small businesses that I've talked to have said to me, what is the science between 100 employees? Does the virus not go where there's 99? One of our plaintiffs is a trucking company in Minnesota, and as we all know, we have a massive shortage of truckers even before COVID. He cannot afford to lose one trucker, not one. The logistics of trying to set up a tracking system. He's vaccinated himself. He believes in the vaccine. He's encouraged them and suggested it, but it's a personal choice, and he supports their choices.
Okay, well, let's go there just one step further. We already have vast labor shortages in this country. We are paying people to stay at home, so we've got a massive problem in the labor force already. And then you add to that the mandate, whereby individuals are going to be forced to have a livelihood or quit. What impact is this going to have on the labor force in the country?
Let me tell you the population in this group, because the SBA defines a small business as any company with under 500 employees. This mandate hits companies that have 100 or more. So there are 20 million employees in the population that is 100 to 500. So you're talking about 20 million employees being impacted by this. And you look at anecdotally, we hear about 30% don't want to be vaccinated and may not want to submit to weekly testing. So that's a huge impact on the workforce, and also decreases the supply available, the pool of people available just to hire. So that's a huge impact on an already suffering workforce.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Crocker, I'd love to get some answers from you. I'm going to pass right now because I want to get to Dr. Rutherford a bit about the supply chain, how this is going to impact the supply chain. Dr. Rutherford, you mentioned some 18,000 deaths related to the vaccine being downplayed. Suspected to be related to the vaccine. On the other hand, we have some 700,000 plus individuals who supposedly died from COVID, and we all know those numbers are grossly exaggerated what's going on here? Why are we exaggerating on the one hand the number of deaths versus downplaying deaths by COVID and downplaying deaths by the vaccine?
I think it has to do with greed and power. That's the only explanation that I can come up with. I know there are some other theories. I try to stay away from something, the conspiracy theories. It really doesn't make sense. In 1976, they stopped that year's flu vaccine, the swine flu vaccine, after 25 deaths. And I think there were 93, 95 cases of Guillain-Barré from that vaccine. And that was a big enough signal for them to stop giving that vaccine. So I don't really have a good answer for you, but it's not surprising just based on what we've seen from the government and the pharmaceutical companies and the collusion in the past, like I said, with the opioid epidemic.
Thank you very much.